Good morning. Good morning. Grand rising. Great rising. It's good to be alive! So I'm making this video on a little bit of a request from my friend Kaloa. Beautiful person I met actually on Tinder, and we went on a hike and hung out. But she wanted me to do a video about the relationship that I have with myself and how I talk to myself. So I'm gonna do it. Relationships with yourself is a funny thing. It's kind of a funny concept because when you think of a relationship, it's like a friendship, kind of a communion, I guess. It's just a connection to something, to someone. Like, I personally have a relationship with my water bottle because it hydrates me. And it's been with me for a long time, so it's just a small relationship. I also have a relationship with this chapstick because it keeps my lips feeling nice and minty and glossy, even though I don't really need it. I still really like it. It's with me all the time. Dr. Bronner's, good stuff. So yeah, relationships are kind of a funny thing, Like, people have relationships with everything, everyone worships something. Whether it be looks, whether it be nature, whether it be... Sorry, someone came in to check out a camera, but where was I at? Relationships are kind of tricky business, because... Not tricky business, just like, it's an interesting concept to explain. Like, a relationship with yourself would entail spending time with yourself, talking with yourself, kind of like getting to know who you are and forming that connection with yourself. But it's funny because in a relationship, it's usually yourself connecting with something else outside of yourself. But when it's with yourself, it's just crazy that we can have a relationship going on all up here, all in our head, because we're only connecting from our head to our head. Like, we're only having a relationship with that. Where else would it be coming from? I guess we could have a relationship with our thoughts to our body. We could have relationships with our thoughts to our words, our words to our image, all sorts of stuff. It's kind of like kind of all-encompassing when you say a relationship with yourself, because that means that's how you talk to yourself, how you spend time with yourself, how you do everything with yourself. Like, I kind of picture it as a romantic relationship sometimes with myself, because, like, not that I'm in love with myself, but I love myself. Like, I guess it's way more platonic than romantic, because I'm not, like, sexually attracted to myself or romantically attracted. So I don't know. It's kind of like it's just like being one of my own friends. But it's funny though, when I don't know, really talking about it is really interesting because you don't really think about it until you have to put it into words. It's almost like my soul is connected to my thoughts. Like, my brain, my conscious brain has a relationship with my soul energy. But the relationship is so intertwined. It's like when two trees grow together and their roots are like so wrapped up and intertwined that it's like, it doesn't really, you can't really tell that it's, you don't separate them. You think of them as the same, as one and the same. I don't know, I might be getting off on a little bit of a tangent here, but I would say the relationship with myself is, it's certainly positive. I try to make it like as positive as I can always, because I know that when I'm in normal relationships, when I'm positive to the other person, I get positivity back. And when I'm constantly loving the other person, I get love given back to me. So I'm like giving. I'm constantly trying to stay in the flow of giving and receiving and equality, like in a perfect circle, giving and receiving. So when I give to myself, I'm receiving from myself. So I like to think of it in like a mutualism, like When you think of lichen, right? Like algae took a lichen to fungus and made lichen, and lichen is now its own organism, but it's still symbiotic. It's a symbiotic relationship. They're constantly, one provides one for the other, because algae usually can't live outside of water, and fungus can exist in the form of that little stringy algae-like stuff, and they both offer each other something. So that's what I try to keep with myself. Like, for example, I'll feed myself a meal full of vibrant fruit and mangoes and watermelons and oranges, and treat myself like that, give to myself. And that's a form of love for me. That's a form of self-love, because it's making me feel vibrant. It's making my body feel like thriving, like it feels just amazing. And then that relationship from my soul and my thoughts and my body is like coagulating. It changes the vibe of the whole vessel, because my body feels good. So my body feels good, so then my brain feels good, because my brain feels good to be in my body. There's no cloudiness, there's no haze. And then my soul is satisfied because everything is flowing well, everything is working, all the gears are oiled. So it's a total mutualism, it's a total symbiotic relationship with separate things, separate forces that seem to be one and the same. We often think of like the body as just who you are. You are you. You are this person. But the way I think of it is like I am something made up of millions of things. And same in that sense, I'm the same. The universe is the same with me. The universe is something made up of trillions and quadrillions, if that's a number, of things, and I'm one of those things. So when you think of like your body is made up of millions and trillions of cells, it's not just one thing. And it's also made up of energetic thoughts and electricity and all in your soul, your consciousness. It's like this whole energy structure. Like there's a full-on vessel that your body is for your soul and your thoughts. And then there's your ego, and there's so many different aspects to it. There's so many different systems in your body. So it's not just one thing. It's a whole relationship. It's just a whole deal. Like they're connected, but they can be separate too. You just have to think of them as one thing together. That's like working for each other. The different parts are working for each other. Another part of the relationship with myself that I have is constantly telling myself that I am beautiful, I am enough, I am healing, I am radiant, I am everything that I want to be. There is no want, there is only am. I am. So I'm just like constantly reassuring myself. One of my major love languages is words of affirmation, and I can't express that enough. Like if you're one of my good friends, or any of my friends, anyone that's close to me, you'll know that words of affirmation are big for me. I'm constantly like reaching out to my friends and just saying like, hey, I really, really appreciate you. And you are just an amazing force in my life. And I'm so glad that we have a relationship together. Like, I think that's necessary, because it's just part of my love language. It's just how I talk and how I'm in relationships with people. So relationships with people, relationships with myself, they're the same thing. They're like one and the same for me. This is a really long subject to get on. But yeah, I think a big part of the relationship that I have with myself is not worshiping my looks or vanity or anything like that. More just not focusing on anything physical. Just feeling like I am a part of something bigger, and like I just want to do my part to be the best part that I can be. I hope you understand what I mean when I say that. Just like trees are a part of nature, and to be the best tree, to be healthy. Most trees are really, really healthy because they don't have any obstruction in their life. All they know is the best way, right? Like that's just how they grow. But like I would say the best tree would be, sending nutrients to other trees, getting really good light and good energy, and making awesome oxygen and converting carbon into oxygen, or like putting carbon inside of itself or into the earth and making oxygen. Just being the best tree that it can be. But the tree isn't conscious of this. That's why humans are a little different, because we have to be conscious of it. Trees just do it. Like they don't. I don't know that they have any thoughts. Maybe they do have thoughts about it. But when you're a good tree, you help nature get better. You help the world become a better place. So in being the best human that I can be, that since we're conscious, that entails, having a good relationship with myself and telling myself that I can do it and I am already great and I'm doing the best that I can do. Because I don't know, man, there's like so much to say. I might just have to make another video about this, or either that or just talk for 30 minutes. I guess I can do that. That's fine. But when you tell yourself these things, when you speak words of affirmation for yourself, imagine being a friend and your friend is telling you, man, I really appreciate you. Like, thank you for being my friend. And thank you for being in my life when times are rough and when times are good. Thank you for just feeling that you don't have any boundaries and can be connected with me. Thank you for just everything you do. That feels so good coming from a friend, Like if my friend, like my friends do tell me that type of stuff because they're amazing and they're beautiful. But when I get that type of stuff from anybody, from anyone in my life, I feel like I'm doing well. I feel like I'm serving my purpose as a friend, and I'm being the friend that I aspire to be. So it's just, affirming that. So that's the same thing. It's the same thing with yourself. Like if you're telling yourself that you do a lot for me, and like the different aspects of yourself, like thank you to my digestive system for digesting food every day and giving me the energy that I need throughout the day. Thank you for my hair, for I don't know what hair does. Let's say that hair is leaves and it absorbs sunshine to help you photosynthesize. Like just being thankful for all the aspects of yourself and telling that to yourself, it's just the same thing as if it was like coming from a friend. Oh no, I think I was covering my microphone on accident. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, I won't do that. But yeah, this is a really, really tough subject to like fully pinpoint, like I keep saying. But I think my relationship with myself, you could kind of pin it down to a few different things. Love is the biggest one. Affirmations, words of affirmation, and that love and the affirmations can really just come from anywhere. Like, of course, feeding myself like like the way that I feel best, and drinking enough water and everything, like that's a big part of it. But also staying active and going outside and being with nature and feeling connected to the other part of myself, nature. Like I came from nature. I am an embodiment of nature. Nature is an embodiment of just consciousness, of God consciousness. That's what everything is. So we are all the same in that way. Like I am the same as a tree because we're both embodiments, we're both manifestations of pure creative love energy. So we're all part of that. So going outside and being in nature, that feels like I'm also being, further connected with, the fingers of myself. I just feel like I am a part of that. So it's also a part of me, Just as a forest, you think of a forest as one big thing, but there are several million different types of plants, fungus, trees, animals that all embody the forest, and they all help each other out. So it's the same thing, like it's micro and macro. It goes both ways in all directions infinitely. We're all like little things helping each other out. And there's all a relationship there. Like the relationship goes exactly up and down, side to side, infinite in all directions, just the same. So it's the same thing with you and with your body. That's the way that I see it anyway. Like I just picture my consciousness to be a tree in the forest that is my body. Yeah. I think a relationship with yourself, a good one, is extremely important. Because if you have a good relationship with yourself, then you're a strong tree, baby. You're a self-standing, self-sustaining, high photosynthesis energy, water absorbing, oxygen creating, carbon making, beautiful tree, or a human. The same thing that a human does. You could be a beautiful water consuming, like light creating, energy fielding human. You know? Like, I might sound like a crazy hippie right now, but maybe that's what I am. I think a relationship with yourself is just the best thing that you can do. I know that it's said so much, but self-love is so important. And self-love is, it goes so many different ways. Like self-love for me can look like, when I wake up and I immediately am like just thanking being able to be alive and to be opening my eyes. So that's thanking myself in the universe, thanking the universe that created myself, which is also myself. I also love myself in the mornings by doing yoga and stretching my body, because I'm loving my body in that sense. And the body, like I said before, is helping the rest of your body. They're helping the rest of your parts, your brain. Doing yoga and breathing and getting that oxygen into my head is helping my brain. And then that's helping my soul. So it's all like this mutualism, and it's just, there's so many different aspects to it. There's like, you have to think about it as just one system, and one healing system, and one loving system. Man, I'm definitely going to make another video about this and probably write down some bullet points, because I've just been talking about it. But yeah, I think I've said a lot of things that I want to say. I mean, another thing in the morning, if we're just going off of day-to-day stuff, is drinking and like eating the foods that make me feel best. So after yoga, I usually like take a shower and clean my body, feel that cleansing sensation on my body, which helps my mindset, helps my soul. Also drinking water every day. Like starting your morning out with some just pure water with lemon or lime is so good. It helps out so many different parts. And then making like a nutritional smoothie, you know, like, or some kind of juice or anything today. Oh man. So my dad gave me a juicer yesterday. I got this for lunch. Oh man. That's another part of self-love. Like just getting this good nutrients and minerals into your body. This is just kale and apple. Anyway, I think you guys get the gist of it. But I will talk more if you want me to talk more. Like I said before, the relationship I have with myself is utmost important. If I'm not feeling good in myself and feeling love from myself and love in my body and goodness in my body and feeling healthful, then it's kind of hard to function. It's kind of hard to have relationships with other things if the relationship here isn't grounded. Like me and my cousin were talking about this yesterday. My cousin Bria, beautiful soul, lots of self-love and like confidence, and her relationship with herself has inspired me in so many ways, just because she has such wholesome practices. But we were just talking about how if you have a good relationship with yourself and you have that self-love, then that's like the base. It's like the building block, you know? It's kind of like the bricks, or just like a good foundation to manifest and create anything from. Because if you're manifesting daily, trying to manifest things in your life, saying like, man, okay, today I'm gonna manifest a stapler into my life, okay? I'm just gonna think about stapler every day until one comes. And lo and behold, you have a stapler. But if you're thinking along with those thoughts, man, I really want a stapler because it'll make my life better because I'm poor and I'm weak and I just can't put paper together without a stapler, then the universe will be like, okay, well, not only will maybe I give you a stapler, like it'll be for the wrong reasons, but also I'm gonna reflect exactly onto you what you're putting out because you are yourself. So you're talking to yourself like that. And the universe is also an embodiment of yourself. So you're talking to the universe, putting those energies from yourself into yourself and out into the universe. It's just one big thing. Just like your body is this full system, it's also, it expands outwards. It's not just your body. It's the whole universe too. So the universe will, reflect back onto you that you're poor and you're weak and you need a stapler for some reason. I don't know. It's just an example. But if you have that good relationship with yourself, then anything can be built on that. It's a sturdy foundation. It's strong roots. You're rooted in yourself. You know that you're beautiful and you know that you're strong. So you will be. Like just in any relationship, in anything, you will be strong if you believe that you are strong. So, it's so important. Like I said, I'm definitely gonna make some more videos about this. But I hope that gives you a good idea of the relationship that I have with myself. I think it's one of the most important, it is the most important relationship in my life as of right now, this relationship with myself. It's, when I was younger, it was kind of hard to have a good relationship with myself because I just felt like, I felt so much anxiety to be who I was. And I felt, especially in like 5th grade, around like the really awkward stages, it was just really hard to have a good relationship with myself because I felt like it was so normal to look in the mirror and be like, I'm ugly today, or I don't look good, or whatever. And like, if you're worshiping those types of thoughts, if you're telling themselves